Hi, welcome, welcome. Thanks for tuning in for createwithkelley.com's version of a Facebook Live featuring the Sweet Talk suite today. I am Kelley Pitts and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas. And I really am excited that you're here with me today. Hi Eileen, glad you've joined. Thank you very much. If y'all would let me know when you join, that would be awesome so I can chat with you a little bit while we're getting ready. I'd love to have some new people too, so please feel free to share this video with anybody you think might be crafty, might be interested in being crafty. Hi Tanya, glad you're here. Let me get my computer where I can see comments really quickly. Okay, that's set. Hi Patty, glad you've tuned in. I'm going to show a couple of Valentine's type cards today that could be just friendly, heart, love themed. I've heard one of the demonstrators say that they've just declared the whole month of February as love month. So that works, or the month leading up to Valentine's Day, whatever you think. So it doesn't have to be a lovey-dovey card. It can go to any of your BFFs out there. Hard for me to say, I guess. Let me get my iPad where I can see the comments and then we will get started. Thanks again for tuning in and please do share. I really am trying to actually add some new folks to the Create with Kelley crew. So I'd love to reach out to, if you want to put it on your timeline or share it directly with a friend who might be interested, please feel free to do so. Hopefully they'll learn something new today or at least see a different twist on something they've maybe tried or seen. So let me get my iPad at the right spot so I can see y'all and your comments, and then we will get started. It's kind of giving me fits today. At least my computer worked right away, so that's good. Hope everybody's been doing great. Have y'all done anything fun this week so far? Hope everybody is avoiding the plague that's out there. Heavens. I'm ready for this to be over. I know everybody is. Excuse me. Here we go. All right. I think maybe I've got it. So we've got Tanya, Eileen, and Patty. Let me have a sip of water and I'll show you kind of what we're doing today. Well, my screen on my iPad's frozen. Hopefully I'm not frozen with y'all. Not sure what happens there, but that's why I have a backup on the computer. All right, let me show you. First, I'm going to show you some swap cards that I received in the mail. Several demonstrators do a swap, and yes, Tanya is ready to get back out herself. Her husband has been sick, and so it's just wears you out to be in and out of quarantine all the time. So hopefully we'll all be ready soon to be healthy. I don't know if the weather's going to have to warm up. We had thought once it got cold, you know, that would help, but hadn't really necessarily worked that way. Okay, well, maybe it's easier to show the swap cards when y'all are looking down. So I may go ahead and switch the camera. I'll show you the two cards. We'll probably do one of these today or the treat box. It just depends on how much time we have. But here's you a sneak peek. I know some of you have seen these because you've been over to the house. So I'll show you how to make these, or at least give you tips on it. But they are definitely some heart cards. And then we have a little treat box that I did that several of you who attended our Cheers to the New Year party received one of these. And the little dies for these came out of the Sweet Talk suite, as did the tag. And then the ribbon is from the annual catalog, but there is a beautiful red linen ribbon in the mini catalog too. But I don't know if you can see the Dotty Hearts here from an embossing folder. That's a new folder. So that's fun. So I'll show you these, and I'm going to switch the camera down so y'all can look at, I'm going to show you the swaps first, and then we'll get into the card making, if that's all right with y'all. All right, just a sec. Hold on while I do my switcheroo. Uh-oh. Now, there's that part. Okay, we'll see where we are here. It just doesn't like my fingers lately. They don't want to respond to... I guess I'm going to go ahead and turn it down and then try the little switcheroo. Okay, yep, that was me getting my glasses off. See if I can get in here and make this respond as it should. I think we're still going to be upside down. Okay, we're going to try it one more time. Oh, there we go. It likes my... it likes my thumb on my left hand. It wouldn't take my right hand. Isn't that funny? Same button, same everything, just different finger. Okay. The swap that I participated in with other demonstrators. Here's the one, I think y'all have seen my card. That's the Impossible card. And we've made that on the air before. So that's what I did for the swap. And then we have some with the, let's see, I think that's a Saleabration one. Oh, these are Saleabration ones. Yeah, Saleabration and not the mini catalog. This one is from Amy Story in Denton, Texas, who is one of my upline folks. I've got clutter over here. We don't want you seeing all that. Okay, now I'm going to show you. This is the one with the Calming Camellias. This is in the Saleabration catalog. If you have, I believe it's a $300 order, you can earn one of these for free. See if I can get my camera situated a little better here. Am I going the right way, the wrong way? There we go. Hopefully you can see that without getting too much glare from the envelope. This one is from Cheryl Bivens. And we have this card with the Saleabration paper, the Daffodil Afternoon. I think it looks like my phone is a little crooked. We'll see if that helps now. Maybe that's going to be better. You're strong, brilliant, and beautiful. Who wouldn't want to get a card that says that? Who wouldn't want to be that, right? And this is from Jan's stamping table. It looks like it might be a fun fold, so let's open it up and see how that works. I don't know if it's an easel card or, yeah, it is. So hopefully y'all can see that. And this is featuring the Pale Papaya. That's one of the in colors this year. Let's see how, if y'all can see that from the side or how that's working. There we go. But it props up as an easel like that. Cute. And it looks like she colored the black and white gingham ribbon with the Pale Papaya in there. So that's a pretty one. Okay. We've got this cute one here with the otters, the awesome otters. And this features one of the new Splash and Stripes or Splatter and Stripes embossing folders. I can't remember the exact name. But isn't that cute with the little otter in the water? And then this is from the Rainbow Happiness Designer Series paper that comes in a 6x6 pack. And this is from Leslie Bumgarner. And I think that's it with that one. It doesn't look like it has a fun fold, which is fine. Cards can be beautiful just on their own. They don't all have to have a fancy fold. Here's one, Hello Friend, and it has this is from the Friendly Hello set that you get in the Saleabration catalog for a $100 purchase. And it has the Simply Marbleous paper in the background. And that's from Jan Bassett. So a nice monochromatic card in the Coastal Cabana theme, color scheme. Here's another one from the Hello Friend or Friendly Hello set that comes with the designer series paper and the stamp set. And then this is cut out with the scalloped contours dies that's part of the color and contour bundle. And then we have the new gingham embossing folder in the background on the Granny Apple Green. That is from Linda Tolson Yarborough. Isn't that pretty? Just simple little strips of DSP. Just cut those out, glue those on, stick a little bow on there, a few embellishments, and it's a fairly easy card. The designer series paper sells it the whole way. Okay, here's another one with the awesome otters. And I'm not sure which paper this is. Probably the Rainbow and Happiness paper. That is a 6x6 pack that's in the Saleabration catalog that you can earn for free with a $50 purchase. And there's the cute little otter colored with, looks like blends or maybe with a blender pen. And that's from Mary Mendoza. And we have another Hello Friend that is really pretty, bright and cheery and springish. And that is from Stampin' Pam's Rubber Room, Pam Gardner. She's in our group, and that's a simple fold. This is just a folded back. It's a regular card front with a score and folded back with your DSP back here. So that's a fun little fold. Here's another one with the Friendly Hello set, the designer series paper, and then they just used the friend instead of using the hello, kind of changed it up a little bit. But that's pretty pastel spring colors. Dina Blackman. Here's another same DSP, same slogan there. And it looks like the Ornate Garden texture folder in the background. This is from Glenda Hennick in Oklahoma. We have another Catching Thoughts. I don't have them all memorized yet. Catching Butterflies, something like that. That's a stamp set that's in the catalog. And she did some paper piecing, it looks like, with the Simply Marbleous paper. And then this is from the Island Vibes Celebration stamp set that is in the new Saleabration catalog that goes through February. This one is Ellen Volkmar. We also have another Rainbow of Happiness DSP, and then out of the annual catalog, or the mini catalog, excuse me, for the spring, the January to June mini, that's where this die came from. And then the designer series paper is in Saleabration. And that also uses a scallop contour die, I do believe. And this one is Socorro Gonzalez Bray. Another pretty one. Here's the Hello Friend. And this is using some of the label dies that are in the annual catalog. I'm trying to remember exactly which set that's in. I believe it's the Hippo Happiness set that's got a lot of great labels in it. And then that's DSP and the sentiment again from the Saleabration catalog. One last otter. You're utterly awesome. Isn't that fun? So using the coordinating papers that coordinate with the designer series paper. So that's the way I like to do things is pick up all the colors that are in your DSP, let that be the lead if you're using that on your card. And then this is just stamped tone on tone. The otters are stamped on this page, and then you've got embossing here. So that's fun. And then the otter is just stamped and fussy cut out. That is Suzanne Taylor. Cute little card. So we had some good swaps. Now we've got the swaps from the, oops, that's still in your eyesight, isn't it? This is my card that I've shown you before, I think. That was my swap card out of the January to June mini catalog. See if I can get that back to where it was. A little too close, okay. There we go. And now here's another one from the mini catalog from the Flowering Fields suite. And it has the windmill stamped and then fussy cut or die cut out. And then this is from that Flowering Fields. It's just beautiful. All the colors are gorgeous in this, in the DSP and everything. This is Amy Story. She always does some of my favorite ones, favorite cards for the swaps. And here's a beautiful use of the, looks like the New Horizons paper and that coordinating set out of the mini. And this is the new vellum that comes out of a different suite. It comes out of the Artfully Composed, Artfully Layered, that suite. And this is Dina Blackman, Grassy Grove stamps and dies. Isn't that pretty? So you can do a lot of different things with that, with just the trees or the grass, and not have to use the deer, or use the deer, and a lot of different layouts will work with that. Then we have one from the Ladybug suite. And this looks like it's from the Pattern Party paper. And in this embossing folder with the leaves in the background, hopefully y'all can see that, with the black glitter organdy ribbon, those are from the annual catalog. And this is Cheryl Bivens. And we have Your Friendship is So Uplifting. This is from the Kites set that's in the mini catalog, Leslie Baumgartner. And it looks like she used blends, I think, to make that background. Or, yeah, because I don't think that's the Marbleous paper. I think she did the background with blends. And we have a beautiful heart one here. This is that Calming Camellias that is in the mini catalog that you can earn with when you host a party, or when your order gets large enough to be your own host. And then this is the new... it's in the mini catalog. I mean, yeah, obviously it's in the mini catalog. That's what we're going over. Let's see if I can find the name of this set. Love and Happiness Bundle. But isn't that interesting to put it on a different color than you would expect? But it's beautiful. And this is Jan Bassett. Here's another one with that set that is a gorgeous wedding card where they've used the gold foil and just very vanilla paper and done the same thing. This is die cut out. The folder is kind of a hybrid folder that cuts out, it's called the Bouquet of Love, or Bouquet of Love, whichever way you say it, hybrid embossing folder. So it embosses and it die cuts out. So you can use the negative of the heart or the positive. Either way. Isn't that pretty? That's very flexible, huh? All right, now we have a cute little Easter card. What a darling little duck and duckling, or both of them are ducklings. And one's a chick and one's a duckling, maybe? Not quite sure. And I believe this is the macrame folder. That's a new folder. And the fun fold, that just flap just comes up. So that's a cutie from Annie K's. We also have more of a collage, kind of a vintage collage top card here. Whoops. And the Tasteful Textiles is in the annual catalog. And then these are in the mini catalog, and I think it's ranunculus. The name has to do with ranunculus. Oh, Tanya has the Grassy Grove stamps and dies. Good. She's ready to use that one. Glenda Hennick. But I think that's really pretty with the polished pink colors. Very nice. And then here's, this makes me want to go on a beach vacation or a cruise. We love cruising and going to the beach, although we kind of burn easily, so we don't spend a ton of time in the sun. We spend it in the shade on the beach with an umbrella. But this sure does look inviting, doesn't it, with this weather that we're having here with the cold and blustery. But hope you find a little paradise wherever you may be. This is kind of like the waterfront and snowfront sets that we've had. It's called Oceanfront, I believe. And this is Ellen Volkmar. Hope I'm saying that right. And then we have a really detailed windmill card. I'll get this out for you so you can see the detail on it. From the Tulip Fields bundle, Flowering Fields DSP. And this is Socorro Gonzalez Bray. Isn't that beautiful? You can see the... Just thinking of you today, but y'all can see... She's got this up on Stampin' Dimensionals here, and then has a brad where these, it doesn't look like they turn. They could yeah, if you do it carefully, but this paper is not thick. I mean, it's kind of fragile. I'll just say that. So you wouldn't want to mess with it a whole lot, but it does turn. So that's kind of what I call a kinetic die, because it either shows movement or you can actually do movement with it. And then this designer series is part of that Flowering Fields paper with beautiful colors in it. Don't y'all agree? Isn't that gorgeous? Yes, Tanya, we would like to be at the beach. Okay, let's see, one more, and then we'll do the Valentine cards. Okay, here we go. This is Suzanne Taylor, and she has, I believe this is the ranunculus flowers again. I am not positive on this one, and it doesn't say, so I'm not sure. It is in the mini catalog. It's one of those, so hopefully y'all can flip through the catalog and find that. But all these were featured. This bunch of cards was from the mini catalog that's good January through June. And then the Saleabration is January, February. And that's that other cute little catalog that I can't seem to lay my hands on at the moment. So there you go. There are those. I just wanted to show you those really quickly because I just got them. So that's exciting. I don't know why my iPad is freezing up, but I do want to show you these. Let's see how much time we have and see what we could make here. Okay. Let's see if those are far enough up. I want to tell you some tricks for sure. We probably won't make this whole thing, but we could get this one made. But I'll tell you some tricks. Why don't we make this one, because it's a pretty quick one to go ahead and put together. And then I'll show you some tricks on this one, on how I did that and how I took that idea all the way through from conception to reality, I guess. Call that. Okay. We can, unless y'all have a preference, let's see. Eileen, I don't know, maybe your feed, I don't understand why my iPad is frozen, and that may be the same thing. Have you done a reboot? Just kind of go out and go back in, Eileen? That's all I could suggest is just getting out, and I may do that on my iPad too and see if that works. Maybe that'll, yep, I just clicked, well, no, it froze up again. But my computer's working and everybody else is seeing it, so it may be just something to do with your internet. I'm not sure. I'm sorry you're having trouble. Okay. Hopefully the recording is doing all right, because I don't know if it's freezing on my phone or not. Since it's upside down, I can't really tell. Okay. We will start with this card right here, and it's just a regular 8.5 by 5.5 cardstock, and it's scored at 4 1/4, and then again at 5.5. Let me get to where I can reach my bone folder here. Had to reach for it. And then it's also scored at 2 1/8. Okay, we'll move that over there. So that part is just folded back and in half and folded back. And I would really get this crease really good before you put your goodies on it, before you attach everything. All of the folds, just really, really, really use some pressure and get a good crisp fold where it will fold flatter. I didn't do that before my DSP, and I didn't want to mar it later, so see, that folds a little flatter than this one. It's a little harder to do once you've got all your goodies on there, as you can see. And then I thought about putting putting something here that hangs over, but I really like this whole thing showing. So that doesn't bother me because I think people would automatically set the card up once they got it. So that's what I decided anyway. Alrighty, let me grab my, I don't seem to have my little silicone mat. I had a class here yesterday, last night, till not, no, not before last. Yesterday was our 22nd wedding anniversary. So that was fun. We got to go to Las Brisas and have a delicious meal and had some friends spring for the meal even. So it was awesome. Okay, I'm just going to, I don't have my silicone mat, so we're just going to put a little piece of scratch paper up here and go with that. Thanks, Tanya. It was 22 years we celebrated. Okay, I am using paper from the designer series paper that's part of the pack, which that would be pretty too. I would probably do it that way. If you wanted just purple and not have all the hearts, you could do something like that, and you'd have to cut it the other way, or use the strops like this. You could do it either way. And that's the Marbleous paper, and you've got two sides to it. So you've got some options, even if your paper is already cut, like mine is. But we're going to go with it like this. I've got, that's not the seal I want. We're going to use this little Stampin' Seal. And once you get used to the stamping seal, it really works great. But it does take some getting used to. You've got to go a certain way and break the tape to get it to work. We'll move that over. And since I don't have anything, you always have to think about layering when you're doing your card. So I don't have anything attached to this layer that's not on top of this. So I know that I can go ahead and glue it down. Okay, we can't glue the marble side down yet because we need to put the ribbon on it, as you can see here. So that's what we'll do next. You have to kind of think about the layers and think about how that's going to work before you start gluing and regret it. Okay, we're going to, I'm just going to, I think I can do the seal without making a mess. So we're going to take the seal and just go across here. I'm going to go down a little bit, go across. So I'm going to hit that ribbon no matter what. I'm going to have plenty of adhesive there. Just kind of eyeballing the center. If y'all want to measure it, you can measure it. I'm more of an eyeballer. It really doesn't bother me if it's exact or not because it's a handmade card. And I found that it's easier, especially with this ribbon, to just go ahead and put the ribbon on the side like we did. And I'm not doing that very straight. Trying to make sure I'm still in the camera here. Kind of put the ribbon on flat first and then just add the bow later instead of trying to tie it with the ribbon on and make it lay straight. I will. Yep, my iPad's freezing up again. Eileen, I don't know if you have an option on the network at your house, but I actually have like an extender in one end of the house, and that's what I've got mine set on, as to the extender. And maybe that has something to do with it. Instead of being on the actual like Netgear or whatever. I don't know. You might try that, see if you've got another option on your internet that you could try. Okay, I go right over left, and then I tie the little bow, and I pretty much have to do it upside down to make my bow come out right. Well, you know what? We're gonna make a separate bow and then attach it. Like I said, but not what I did. I think it's easier this way. Just tie your bow. It's a little easier to get exactly what you want this way. And I just tie it like I tie my shoes. Some people do the little bunny ears, and I have just never really learned that. You could use your little bow jig if you want, if you have one of those with the little pegs. But I usually just do it like this and kind of mess with it. You have to hold the middle kind of tight if you're going to mess with the loops. And then just pull it up, get it the way you want it. Close enough for me. Oops, get that a little more even. Kind of cut them at an angle. Then we're going to take glue dots. And I usually use 2. And this is the one that is the glue dots that are on the tape itself instead of on the roll. So whichever one you get, I don't know which one's older or if they've switched it back or what, but they started doing this. And I kind of like this at the top. I tried it at the bottom, but I liked it at the top better. So I'm going to show you on the dies that come with this set. This is the Sweet Conversations bundle, and this is the stamp set and the dies. So I have just a little metal thing in here. This is not a magnetic sheet that I ordered separately. It doesn't come that way, but it sure does make it handy to have it that way. And I have just stuck in my case here the little sheet from the dies. I just put that in the back so I know how many there are. And then in the front, of course, you've got, you know, how many are in the stamp set. So that's kind of how I do it. And these magnetic sheets come sticky on the back. So yes, Eileen, isn't that weird? If you can watch on your computer maybe instead of your iPad, maybe that will help. Because it's my iPad that's acting up too. Okie dokie. Now, so I have cut out where I was going here, and I got back onto Eileen's internet issues. This was what I cut out of the Blushing Bride paper that coordinates with this set. And I already have one of those done. Let's see here. If I can find it. In another box, maybe. Okay. And I don't seem to have a flat one. I've got one that I've already put together. But basically that die cuts out that shape. And I usually use, there's one of the 4 shapes that's a little bit skinnier. And that's what I put at the top. And all you do, I'll just take this apart. I'll just use a glue dot there. So here's what you get when you cut out that die. And then I just cut this out with one of the dies that's in the set. And you just fold the bottom up, and I have the glue dot there, just kind of overlapping both of those. And then you're going to put your little hug me or whatever you want on there. I use glue dots to attach this to the card. And I just take the paper to the glue dot and kind of twist it. Usually works well. In fact, it almost always works unless you're on camera for some reason. Okay, there we go. Get that off of there. So I've got a couple of glue dots, and we're gonna just kind of do it at an angle. And I'll do it in, kind of in a little bit instead of out, where you're not pointing out of the card. We can try this one actually centered and see what y'all think. Do that one that way, where you're just attaching that to the ribbon. And then we'll grab our little purple heart to coordinate everything. And on this one, I think I've got a BFF. And you cut these out of the paper, the designer series paper that's the Sweet Conversations or Sweet Talk, whichever one from the Sweet Talk Suite. It starts off like this, and I just usually kind of cut a strip cut about this many off and then go in and cut these apart. And then you'll need to, and you can just do that while you're sitting and watching TV. If it's a Hallmark movie or something where you kind of know what's going to happen anyway, you don't have to concentrate. Murder mystery or something, I wouldn't recommend that. But if it's just kind of mindless TV in the background, you can certainly do that. And then I trimmed them up a little bit. I leave a little bit of white just so it is not, you don't, it's just easier, I think, if you leave a little white. If you get it right up on the edge and then you kind of mess up and make an oops, then you don't have a way to correct it. But if you've left a little white, you've got a way to do that. Okie dokie. Let's get rid of all these little pieces here. We'll chunk those in the trash. And then since this is kind of already popped up here a little bit, it's not a lot, it's just kind of bulky because it has both of those on there. So I'm going to just put a glue dot on here. And attach this. You could do it at an angle, you can do it straight, however you want to. But I would say this one you could add a Happy Valentine's Day. I was going to show you that. Or we could do, you could switch these and make this one the Valentine's Day, make this one for BFF. This could be Happy to Have You in My Life. You could just add the Happy Valentine's Day from the set. However you want to do it. You've got a couple of versions in here. Then we're going to, yikes, add the white, which I'm going to have to cut. These are, the white and the DSP are all 2 inches by 5 3/8. So let me cut that white piece really quickly. It's not the right size. It was a little short. I forgot about this white piece. So, y'all talk amongst yourselves, and I'll see if I can find a piece this size. 5 3/8. About 2. Okay, 5 3/8 by 2. And then we can go with the Happy to Have You in My Life. That could be, we could do that in purple. We could do it in red, just like this one. What do y'all want to see? Hello, Charlotte. I'm sorry you're freezing up too. I don't understand that. I'm having trouble with my iPad too. Charlotte, are you on an iPad or are you on the computer? Because it seems to be making a difference. My iPad is definitely frozen, but my computer's going. So we're going to have to figure something out on that. I'm just going to do the Happy to Have You in My Life. Stamp that on our little Stampin' Pierce mat. And you don't have to have the piece of paper underneath there. But you do need a mat, especially with the photopolymer stamps. We can do the Happy to Have You in My Life. And then clean this really quickly. You could put, like, if you wanted to stamp a heart behind here, that would be pretty. We've got some of those in the set, in the stamp set. Or I was going to show you the Happy Valentine's Day, but we may be running out of time. So I'll just go ahead and put this in and show you what I did on the other dies. Oops, wrong seal. That one's kind of messed up. Here we go. Don't trap your ribbon under here. There we go. Try to get that straight and just make sure before you push it all the way down, make sure you're lined up and it's not showing underneath this card, this part of the card. There you go. Easy peasy. And now we'll take the dies that I've already cut. And they have this die set has vertical hearts and horizontal hearts. And then the inside of these cuts out also. So you get the outline and the inside. And just a little tip, the vertical hearts are a tiny bit different size than the horizontal hearts. So each one, you can tell, see these red ones that are the vertical are a little bit smaller than the horizontal ones. Not a lot, but a little bit. So, if you wanted to put these on the foam adhesive sheets, that would be a good idea to pop that up if you wanted. I usually don't pop much up on the inside, but I really wanted the little red heart on this one to show up more, so I did pop it up. I'm going to get out of that, get back on. I don't know who I've lost here, and sorry the feed is not doing properly. I'll see if I can get my hubby to look into this and see if it's what's happening on my end that's causing that. Okay, whoops, got a little too much glue there. Since I don't have my silicone mat, I'm just holding it up so I won't make a mess all over my paper. Try to do this. I've just got this in a little container that's got a really fine tip so it doesn't stop up. So you can use whatever liquid glue is your favorite. And then I just centered that here. And then I wanted to see, this is the red hearts that are cut out of that vertical one. What do y'all think? Do y'all like the 2 hearts like this? Maybe? In there instead of the 1, or what do you like best? Sorry, I was a little bit off screen there. I'll let y'all decide that, if you like the 1 or the 2, and you like flat or popped up. We'll just do whatever one y'all decide. And I'll get this one on. I thought this was just a nice way to bring the red color all the way across, because you got a pretty big purple piece here. And the red and the purple are both pretty bright. So, and I'm not a put everything in the center gal. I kind of like it offset, at least part of it. And you want your eye to kind of flow through the card. So the bow brings your eyes down to here. This brings it up. That brings it up. So that's the way I think about it anyway. You think the 1 heart to the right, not in the center. Tanya says, anybody else? So 1 heart like that. So you leave 2 blank and have 1 in on the right. Is that what y'all think? Any other options? Do y'all like that on the right? Or do you like 2 hearts like this? Or do you like just the 1 heart? Or do you mean, Tanya, do you mean the 1 heart on the right? Like this one? Or you mean 2 blank and then 1 heart on the right here? Anybody else? Or have I lost everybody? I hate that. Sorry we're having trouble, but it is dang windy outside, so that may have something to do with it. Okay. We will put 2 blank and 1 heart on the right. That's what Tanya thinks. So we are going with that. And don't have my take a pick tool right at hand like I should. since I had that class. So we'll just do this one flat. So you could do it either way, however you want. And this could be a different color heart if you wanted. I just kind of wanted it to fit in with the purple. I just felt like, even though this has the green and the pool party, it looks like granny apple green pool party, I just thought they were too much on here by themselves on this part of the card. So I stuck with the red and purple color scheme. So there you go. Easy, easy. That's the way to do that card. Now I'm going to give you, hopefully, let's see what time it is. Okay, we got time. We'll do our little treat box. And then Patty's going to come pick this one up. I did find one more little box that was put together. And I'm going to get some more chocolates. You could put whatever you want inside the treat box. This is from they're called Sweet Little Boxes, and they are in the Sweet Talk Sweet set. I'm going to get out of here and go totally back in and see if I can get that iPad working again. Yep, I am back on. I don't know, Eileen, if you've given up, but when I got totally out and got back on, it worked. Okay, it comes already, the little boxes. You get 10 in a box, and they are item number 157628. They come just in 10 little boxes, just like that. And you just simply fold all these in. You don't have to score them with a bone folder, but you certainly could. I'm just going to fold everything first so that it's easier after you get it decorated. You've already got the folds kind of there. Get that. That. And then I would do one side. I would take one side off. And the way I'm doing the box, you can fill it afterwards and you can decorate it afterwards. So I'll go ahead and show you how the box goes together. With those on the inside, and you hold this bottom part up. These are going to attach to the outside. So with this level, I'm going to go inside here, and you can kind of feel where this side should push over there. So you get that as close to even as you can. You can do it holding it in your hand, or you can do it sitting up straight, but you pretty much have one shot. So if it's not perfect, I wouldn't recommend peeling it off because it's got this strong tear and tape stuff already on here. But if you're careful, you should be able to get it pretty close. But you're probably not going to be able to peel it back off if you get it wrong. You can try it, but you might tear up the box. So that's all there is to making the box. And then you put your little treats inside. This one has several little chocolates, and it just opens, see, from the top like that. You can get the little, I had little heart-shaped chocolates in there. You could do Ghirardelli, you can do Dove chocolates, you can do whatever you want. And then I used the Dotty Heart. This is from the Dotty Hearts embossing folder. It comes with two different ones. It has this one, which I used on the back here. And you just simply glue that piece of paper there. We'll do that really quickly for you. Let me see what this size is. 2 3/8 by 3 3/8. 2 3/8 by 3 3/8 is what I did. And I just glued, you just make sure, remember which one's your front, which one's your back, and get this glued on. I would probably use the liquid glue or the Stampin' Seal Plus. And I had tried kind of inking up the embossing folder on this, if you can tell. And it filled in here, but it also filled in some of this, so it kind of made a mess. But I'm using the other side anyway, so it doesn't matter. You can't see through it. We've got good, great quality cardstock that you can't see through like that. So there we go. There's that side. And then I've cut the designer series paper from this Sweet Talk Sweet. and to the same size, 2 3/8 by 3 3/8, I think is what I said. And there you go, that's on the front. Then you take one of the same little heart pieces that I had before, glued with the little glue dot there. You cut the red heart out separately and stick that inside. And we'll tuck that under the ribbon. We'll do this one with the new linen ribbon, just to kind of show you the difference in the two there. That curly red ribbon there is a real red, and it carried over from the holiday catalog, so it is still available to order online. But this one is actually the one that comes in the Sweet Talk Suite. Y'all can look and see which one you prefer. Let's see, I usually do it upside down. I tie it upside down. And this to me is easier than doing that vertical one, you know, that I showed you with the white ribbon. When it's horizontal like this, I can make it go ahead and work with the tying the ribbon while it's as a part of it, you know, tied all together instead of having to. That wasn't quite long enough. This is why I don't cut my ribbon first. I just want to make sure I'm not wasting a bunch. Okay, so tie it right over left, hold on tight. Ooh, I should have put lotion on my hands. Sorry about that, peeps. They're dry, 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 just like everything in West Texas out right now. We need some moisture. Okay, there's your little bow. Kind of get that how we want it. Cut that off. Cut that off. And then you can move this down a little bit. Kind of moved it that way. And then we'll get the little tag. I've already stamped this. This tag was cut out with this die that's in the Sweet Talk Suite set. And then I just ran some ribbon through there. This ribbon that's on here is the same Blushing Bride as the paper, but this one is a retired ribbon, but we do have a thinner one that would work just great, which I'm going to show you. It's in the cotton ribbon combo. Rainbow. Okay, so this is a smaller ribbon, but it's the right color. It's the Blushing Bride, so I would show you how that one would work. Nope, I don't have one that's not already done. So this would work though. If you don't have this Blushing Bride ribbon from the other catalog, you could certainly use this one that comes in a combo with the blue and the pink. Comes in the mini catalog. So we're just going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals. Stick this up real quick. And I just put the dimensionals at the top of the tag since this one's going to be tucked underneath this one. And we're going to kind of put it toward the top at an angle, or you could put it straight if you're more of a straight gal. We could do that. And then I tucked this. I'm just going to use glue dots on this one. We'll get the embossing folder out of your way. Okay. Here we go. Okay. I like it better on the roll than on the tape. But this is the one I have right now. So, and you just kind of lift the ribbon up and get this in here and try not to let that glue dot stick. You could, if you had your Take Your Pick tool, you could go ahead and arrange it and then add your glue dots underneath. But that's it. Isn't that cute? Just easy as pie to make. Well, once you have everything cut out, it does take some steps because you do have to cut this, do that, cut this, cut the die cut. So it's got quite a bit of die cutting, but if you do that, if you're going to do multiples, like for your teachers or your grandkids or whatever, if you're doing several, then I would do all the stamping, all the die cutting, everything at once, and then do the assembly, and then the assembly is quick, quick, quick. Okie dokie, there's that one. Now we will kind of explain this other card. I'm going to kind of talk to you about the concept of it, because I don't have all of these totally fussy cut out to do a new one, but I did want to show you what you kind of have to go through. I had decided I wanted to use this border die. I pictured this card kind of in my mind, but I didn't know for sure what color I wanted to do. So I tried it with the pink and it was not a fan. And then I tried it with the red, but decided that overpowered this color. So I kind of wanted to stick with the pastel, but have a pop of the red color. And what I initially did was cut the paper first. Cut just your regular 8.5 by 5.5. And I did my hearts backwards. So I changed that up where you can do it this way, but that changed the position of where it was on the paper. But this works. So you could do that, but I decided instead of the Dotty Hearts, I really wanted to use the other embossing folder that came in that set, in the Dotty Hearts Duo. And because I liked this linear feel of the hearts paired with the stripes on this paper. So I tried and tried and tried, and the only way I could get this to work was this way, because if you put it in your folder, you can't put it in the other way. You only put it in this way, which gets you this look. But I really wanted that look. But if you try to do it that way, then they're going to be upside down on your card. So it really took some conniving to get it to work. Well, the only way I could come up with was to cut the paper, and you can go ahead and cut the border on here, cut a separate piece, and then leave this one. Let me see where that is. Just a second here. See if I brought it in here. May not have. Yeah. Okay, so here I have, you start off with the 5.5 by 8.5, but then you cut it off to where it's only 5 1/4. This is 5 1/4, and then it's still going to be scored. Honey, what if you turn the embossing folder upside down? Would it? Well, yeah, because the problem is, see, Tanya, you can't get it in from this side. So it doesn't matter which way this is, or in my mind, I couldn't make it work that way, whether it was upside down or not. The point is, the hinge is on this side. And for it to work, I couldn't make it work. So if you can, let me know. But yeah, no matter which way I turned the paper, it wouldn't work. So I just did it like this, where you've got your score line is at 4 1/4, and you cut this off at 5 1/4, and then you'll have this separate piece that will fit in the embossing folder the way you want it to. So this way you can make it turn any way you want right here, which this is the way we need it to be. And then you'll have to line up once you run this through the embossing folder. You will overlap this, and you really have to get this pretty dang straight on here to get this to work properly. And if you want to make the spacing even, kind of there, you can pick wherever you want, but you've just got to make sure that the edge of your paper is straight with the lines on the card. Then once you've run it through once, then you'll have to come back in, put this in again, and overlap. This one has to be overlapped, or that's the way I did it. And that way you know that it's straight because your folder won't cover the whole deal. You've got to make 2 passes. So if you'll overlap this one, it kind of locks, almost locks into place. Let me see if I've got time. I'm a little over time, but I can do that part really quickly, so I can show you that little tip. Put the emboss machine here, and this is not a 3D die, is it? Let me check really quickly. I don't have it. No, it's not a 3D. So we use two plates. And you can cut this paper anything you want, any width you want. It's 5 1/2. It's the full length of the card. But I cut this one at about 3 3/4. So we're going to, let me see, do I want to start at the top? I think I want to start at the top. And line this up. Hopefully y'all can see. All right. Get that where I need it to be. Put this on top. Let's push that. So your plates really need to be lined up evenly. Let's scoop this in a little more. And this is, so your plates should all stack because they do have a beveled edge. So if you line those up, it'll work better for you. Put that through the machine with the 2 clear plates. Then I'll show you what I mean here. Okay, so that's got it this way, which, see, you can use either side now because it's cut. All right, and I would have cut the border first. I would recommend cutting the border first. I just didn't because I wanted to show you this technique before we ran totally out of time. But can you see here what I mean about overlapping this? Because you could probably do it this way, but you're going to have 2 of the hearts. It's not going to be alternating, small, big, like that. So you have to fit this in. I mean, it literally, you feel like it kind of, you can feel that it's snug in place there. You can see through, I don't know if y'all can tell here, but you pretty much feel it, that it's not moving. So you know that you've got this into the grooves in there. So it should be the same. Should fit just great. And I've moved it since I had it fixed. But you can tell, see the bottom there is fairly even. Whoops, now I've moved it again. Hang on. All right, let's get that lined up again. So you line that up till you feel like that's right. Look at the bottom, make sure, see, that's about right there too. It's cut off, but it's not gonna matter because you're gonna do that border die on it anyway. Get that lined up, try to keep it lined up. Run it through again. So it may be a teeny bit off, but not much. It just makes those raised maybe a teeny bit more, but you can't really tell. You don't know. You can't tell. And then I discovered, so that's that part, and then you would just cut that with our border dies, which are right here. So you'd cut that out. This is the one that I used, and I lined it up crooked because I don't like things exactly in the center, although it didn't really matter because I put this bigger heart here, so it's really not that big a deal. But you'll just line it up. So I lined it up like about 1 1/4 inches here and 1 3/4 inches down here. This one was on the edge up here, and I marked it with a pencil at 1 1/4 and then 1 3/4 here, and ran that through. But you can, I would do this, I would do the border first before I did the folder on it. Okay? Then on the inside of the card, I did I believe it's a 2-inch piece. Let's see here. Because you try to do things evenly. Yeah, 2 inches. And that's the back of this paper. So I used that page for that. And you kind of have to decide, where do you want that red stripe to be? There's only one red stripe. And if you line it up, that means this heart and these hearts, I tried to get it to where it would go right here. So y'all can see that I matched up the green. You know, my piece, your piece of paper, since this comes out as a it's a 12 by 12. If you make them all across the top, that would get you 6 of these that look exactly like this. And then you're going to have 6 that look a little different. So you got to think about that. So this must be the bottom half. I don't know if it's the bottom half or top half. But what I did was I wanted it to be consistent all the way through. So I matched the green heart with the pool party or Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana, whatever color that is. And then you've got a pink one. This is a little more, I guess this one's more petal pink. This is Blushing Bride. And then the red. See how everything kind of goes across. So it looks like that heart is making those stripes, or those stripes made that heart. Okay? So you've got to make that decision. I would go ahead and glue this into your paper, or either I would lay it out first, actually. Lay it in there and then lay your hearts on to see if you can match up these colors with the hearts that you've cut. And I made this my big one. I cut out a big red heart with the die that's in the set. And let me see if I've got that set here where I can locate it. So this is the largest heart in that set. You can see there's a red back there. And then this purple one is the Highland Heather. It's one of the hearts in the designer series paper that I showed you earlier. Then I stamped the Love You and cut out that different shape heart to put on top. And this red vertical piece is this die that like I used on that other card. So I cut that out, and it just so happens that I discovered that red kind of outlines that little purple heart inside of the embossing folder. So isn't that fun? That I don't know if they planned that or if that was just a happenstance. Same thing on the designer series paper on that other card that I did. I don't think I didn't do it on this set, but you can see I cut out one of the pink hearts there and laid it on top of that. If you had cut this on the foam adhesive sheet, it would stand out there. Whoops, sorry, was a little off. But that's that same kind of thing. So you can play with these shapes when you're doing your card. But these were all from that designer series paper, like I showed you earlier, that little strip that I had. And it's like things just disappear when at least I got to show you once. Here it is. So they're just cut out of here. So you'll just cut out several of these in different sizes, different shapes, and then you could actually, instead of the red, you could make this a different color if you wanted a different big heart to kind of coordinate with this paper. But that was my thought process. And then I used, whenever you get this cut, you're going to lay it over that solid piece that we had. You're going to glue this onto here. Okay, so you're going to have to size it up, make it fit where you want to based on this. You may have to experiment a little. You can always just shave a little bit at a time to get that over when you've got your border cut, if that makes sense. and glue that onto here. And then I covered that seam on the inside and the outside. I covered that with the ribbon, the Highland Heather ribbon that's in the annual catalog. So this is the other border die on the white piece of paper. You can cut that border piece first and then cut it out of the white piece, and then chop off a little bit of the white. You have to make sure it doesn't show outside of this and doesn't cover too much of this paper. So you kind of have to make sure that your border die on that white sheet it needs to be lined up, see, kind of like that. So you don't want gaps like this showing. You wouldn't want to line it up on your white piece and then have a gap here. So your white piece has to be big enough to cover that whole area. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Okay, so show as much of the stripe as you want with the white piece. And then you have that beautiful thing in there that looks kind of like rainbows and clouds or whatever to me, and ties in with the hearts. So, does anybody have any questions? Yes, Tanya, that is. Thanks for your, I'm glad you like the coordination and the embossing, how the embossing does match up with the dies. So it really stretches what you can do with this suite. And I'll be doing a couple of other cards. We'll probably do some more next week because we still have time before Valentine's Day. Although this could be a wedding card if you did it in different colors. You know, you could do different things because you're going to be able to stamp these even if you don't have the designer series paper or you don't like these particular colors. You'll be able to stamp the other ones. So here's this card back again and the treat box. And I will flip the camera around in just a second and let y'all go for the day. Tanya's already gotten her Valentine's done. Of course, she's always ahead. That is awesome. You're my mentor, Tanya, on that stuff. You're good at it. You're more disciplined than I am or something. Trying to get these where they all show in the camera. I sure appreciate you joining in, and I'm sorry, Tanya, which one is the heart card? I'm not sure which one. If the pink card or the purple card, which one do you like the most? And what's your favorite? I'm glad you've had extra time, Tanya. I know it's not for a good reason. When you've got somebody sick at the house, that's no fun. All right, I'm going to switch the camera around. Like I said, y'all hang on and I'll say goodbye and we'll chat a little bit more. Just a sec. Okay, we're going to see if it will respond this time to my finger. Nope. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Just takes a second. One of these days I'll have a fancy smancy switcher. But thanks again all for tuning in, and I'm glad you liked the cards. Here we go. We'll put the little treat box up too, if I can hold them all. And I do have a beginner's class scheduled for this Thursday. I don't know if y'all know somebody who might be a beginning crafter who might be interested in coming. Let me see if I can get these held the right way. I've got a ribbon coming out of my nose. But we do have our Create with Kelley crew lunch on Friday. I'm trying to find the location for that. The Holly Hop where we usually go is already booked. So some ladies come in every couple of Fridays. So thanks again for tuning in, and I will be letting you know about our Create with Kelley crew lunch on Friday. And I do have a class on Thursday. So, and then we've got techniques coming up on Sunday. So we've got a lot cooking with the Create with Kelley crew. If you're not part of us, we would love for you to join us anytime. I'll have classes posted online. Thanks again for tuning in. Fun times ahead. Bye-bye.